everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be doing the booktube newbie tag, because even though I have been uploading videos for quite a few months now, I'm still very new to booktube and to reading, and I thought it was quite like a fun thing to do at the end of the year and then see, like, I do not know, I just thought I just fancy doing it, and I haven't finished setting up a reading journal, so I do not have that video ready, but hopefully that should be coming soon, so stay tuned for my 2023 reading journal setup, which I'm super excited about. But yeah, let's get into it. The first question is, why did you start your channel? I started my channel because I just wanted to like share my thoughts on certain books, like give recommendations, hopefully to receive recommendations from other people, and just like the bookish community just seems like such like a fun like place to be, and I just wanted to be a part of it, and I thought like I could share my thoughts and connect with people hopefully, and just grow, and it's just something to like, because I don't really have that many like social interactions like in person. Hopefully I can do so more like digitally, and I love watching like other booktubers, their content, how they think about books, their like wrap-ups and reader vlogs and stuff, and I just thought that I wanted to do that, so that's why I started. Question two is, what are some fun and unique things I can bring to a booktube? I think my like personality and how I talk about books is quite unique, and I feel like I'm quite a lot bit like I interact with like certain characters or the writing and like things in books in, I think, a sort of like a unique way that I don't really see that many other people like do. So I would say that is like what I can bring, and it's just like I try and be fun. I try and mostly always see the good things in like books and stuff, because I'm spending my time reading it, so I do usually try and find the positives to highlight them, but obviously sometimes it is like annoying things, and then I usually try and make it a bit more like comical or like sorry, what, like, I'm sorry, but like, no, like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's sort of my attitude, and yeah, that's what I can bring. Question 3 is, what are you most excited for about your new channel? I guess just like sharing my thoughts, hopefully like interacting with people, getting some recommendations, like highlighting like my favorite books, and yeah, just like growing my channel and growing like relationships and like interactions with other people, hopefully. Why do you love reading is question 4. I really only recently got into reading like this year, and I really love it because it's like a way of like escapism from like certain things that are like going on in like physical world, but also my mind, which I have been struggling with. So it's a really nice way to like interact with like another world and like these other characters, and to have like to make like friends with like fictional people, or like romances, or like enemies, and you know, and like you can like travel the world, like you can see all these different places that you might not be able to go to, or like obviously like fantasy worlds and stuff, and it's really fun, and it just brings me like joy and like a way to like sort of like ease some like times when I get like anxious or like I feel down. So yeah, that's why I love reading, because it's sort of like an escapism from like the real world, but also I can like, when I have like relatability with characters or certain themes on events and stuff, I absolutely love that like so much, because it's just like it's nice to have representation and relatability, and yeah, that's what I love. Number 5 is what book or series got you into reading? So I only started reading in about like March, April time. And I read, these were the first 2 books I read, was Less by Andrew Sean Greer. And then I think I read Sally Rooney's Conversations with Friends. And this is because I was out with my friend and she was like, we was looking at books together because I started like reading, I was like really interested in Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney, and I was searching for his charity shops, and then my friend was like, what book are you looking for? And I was like, Conversations with Friends, Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. She was like, oh my god, you want to like read a Sally Rooney book? And she like was talking about like books and stuff, and then we went to another charity shop, and then I read the back of this and I was like, oh my god, it sounds so fun, it's so interesting. So I thought I'd pick this up, and I did also get some other books that day, and my friend got me some books. So yeah, I really like owe it down to her for like igniting this like passion in me. So I read this quite slowly because I was like slow, and also I read this very slowly, but I would say these 2 really got me into reading, because this I had like a lot of like relatability, and like he travels like around the world, so it's like it's fun to like explore different places, and this has like such like realistic like writing and relationships, and just really like interesting like character analysis and development. So yeah, these 2. Also My Year of Rest and Realization by Altessa Moshfegh, that is with my friend currently, so I don't have it to hold, but that book like just encapsulated me, and just I was like, wow, I was like so like intrigued by it, even though I hated the main character like so much. I literally despised her, and so many other characters I was just like, oh my god, I hate them, but I was still here for it. I still wanted to continue the plot, even though there wasn't really any plot. But yeah, I'd say them 3, and obviously some other books, but because I didn't really like read when I was younger that much, if I was to choose like another like a nostalgic book series, maybe like ones by Roald Dahl, like George's Marvelous Medicine, and James and the Giant Peach, Magic Finger, like the shorter ones I used to read quite a bit. And yeah. Question 6 is, what questions would you ask your favourite booktubers? I'm not really sure. I feel like most of the people I read are, most people I watch are quite forthcoming on sharing like their thoughts and like different things. So I don't think there's anything particular I'd like want to know. It's just like, if I had like a chance like meet like some of my favorite YouTubers, I think the question I would ask most is like, what do you love most about reading, and something like that, maybe, just so, because I love hearing people talk about their passions. It's just such like a lovely thing to hear and to witness. So I guess like if that's something that they love, then just like the reasons why and how it affects them, that is like something that I'd be like really interested in to know, I guess. Question 7 is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I'm not sure. I guess I'm not necessarily the most like articulate, and I do sometimes like go like like that sort of thing, and maybe like that. Also, like when I do public video, like filming in public, I'm not very confident, so I don't usually like do like, hey guys, like that sort of thing. So I would usually just like film a bit and then maybe do like a voiceover, or when I get home and talk about things. So maybe like that sort of thing, like growing a bit more confidence and more like articulation and like summarizing my thoughts better. And number 8 is, when did you start reading? About like March, April time this year is when I started. Number 9 is, where do you read? I predominantly read in my bed. Sometimes I read like if I'm on a bus, like transporting. Might read a little bit downstairs, like if I'm like doing something else, I don't know. But primarily in my bed. And the last question is, what kind of books do you read? I feel like I do read quite a varied genre. Specifically in my November wrap up, if you want to check that out, I read like a lot. I read like manga, memoirs, non-fiction, graphic memoirs, I can't remember, like novellas, fantasy, all that stuff. But I feel like my main, like, I feel like I've whittled my like favorite like genre, or like my niche in books, down to contemporaries with predominantly queer characters that have flashbacks to the past. And I love these sort of books. Let me give you 3 options in descendant order of my favorite, even though they're not like, these aren't my favorite, these are like examples of my favorite like niche genre. My Policeman by Beth Ann Roberts. It's about these 2 people that are like sort of like talking about their policemen in different times, and it goes back to like the 50s and how they met, and like a sort of like a doomed like love triangle because of like anti-homosexuality like laws and rhetoric and people's like society and stuff. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this book. I was my most anticipated of the read. It wasn't my favorite, just because some bits I just didn't seem that realistic, but there were other bits that I did really enjoy, so that one. And then another one that, this is a 5-star, this book is exquisite. I need to read this again, hopefully next year. That is Swimming in the Dark by Thomas Jedrowski. This is about Ludwig, and he thinks back to the summer of, I think it's like the 1980s, yep, in Poland, and his like doomed love affair with Janusz, and it's sort of like contemporary-fied, and it also like goes back as well. Amazing beautiful writing. I think this was the first one I ever like underlined as I went by. And I do have quite a few bits that I actually underlined. Totally recommend it, lovely. And then the last one is one that I will not stop highlighting and praising and recommended till I'm blue in the face, and that is Lie With Me by Philippe Besson, translated by Moni Ringwald. It is super short. It's like 148 pages. It is pure brilliance. It is beautiful writing, so much emotion. It's so heartwarming and heart-wrenching, emotive. It is everything. It talks about Philippe, the main character, and he's like in a hotel room, and then he thinks he sees like his old like lover Thomas, and then he gets like transported back in his mind to like 80s like France, and about their sort of like doomed like first love. And it's just, it is beautiful writing. I literally have so much like underlined in this book, and like there's just that last page, that letter is imprinted in my brain forever. So yeah, please read this. So yeah, so these are like 3 examples of queer contemporaries with flashbacks to the past that I absolutely adore, totally recommend, and that is my niche. So if you have any recommendations that are like that, I would be really interested and very thankful if you would leave them in the description below. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you like the sound of my channel and the things that I'm interested in and the way I talk about books and stuff, I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe if you would like to do so. But if not, I hope you enjoy this video nonetheless, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.